She was asking for it. What were you wearing? Get over it. How much did you have to drink? It was just a joke. Don't wear that. I was just trying to give you a compliment. Be a good girl. Don't say anything, okay? One of every six women has been victim of an attempt or completed rape in her lifetime. Around 3 million males suffer domestic violence per year. In America, a woman is beaten every 9 seconds. In South America, 10 women are killed every day. In Asia, 20,000 women lose their lives every year in cases of honor killing. The average number of children conceived from rape every year goes from 7,750 to 12,500. 33% of women who are raped contemplate suicide, and 13% of them attempt it. The term gender violence reflects the idea that violence often serves to maintain structural gender inequality and includes all types of violence against men, women, children, adolescents, gay, transgender people, and gender non-conforming. 94% of victims who are raped experience post-traumatic stress disorder in the 2 following weeks after the rape, and 30% of the victims report PTSD in the following 9 months. Not only PTSD, but also depression, self-harm, eating and sleep disorders, as well as flashbacks, which are effects of the gender violence, where sometimes suicide is an option. The victims are not the only ones to feel the effects of gender violence, but also schools, neighborhoods, campuses, and cultural or religious communities that may feel fear, anger, or disbelief if a sexual assault happened in their community. Additionally, there are also financial costs to communities. These costs include medical services, criminal justice expenses, prices, and mental health services fees. 8,600 inmates are sexually assaulted or raped. 61,000 children are victims of sexual abuse. 18,900 military experience unwanted sexual contact. The possible solutions to eradicate the gender violence, or at least to decrease it, must be a radical solution where the problem can be avoided from the very beginning of it, which is the education. School systems are instrumental to stopping gender violence before it starts. Sexuality in education, school counseling programs, and school health services can all convey the message that violence is wrong and can be prevented. Suggest alternative models of masculinity, teach conflict resolution skills, and provide assistance to children or adolescents that may be victims. The problem of gender violence not only makes women and men feel guilt, shame, self-blame, embarrassment, fear, or distrust, just to name some emotions, but sexual violence deprives girls of education. School-related violence limits the educational opportunities and achievement of girls. In a study in Ethiopia, 23% of girls reported experiencing sexual assault or rape en route to or from school. In Ecuador, adolescent girls reporting sexual violence in school identified teacher as the perpetrator in 37% of the cases. In South Africa, 33% of reported rapes of girls were perpetrated by a teacher, and many girls changed school or left school as a result of the hostility after they reported violence. The only way to prevent this is by radical measurements. Delegitimize the violent conduct on TV and video games, avoid the sexist prejudices of male and female roles, erase the myth of love ideals, which leads to the women to keep on with a toxic relationship, avoid the sexist propaganda, development of programs to capacitate and venture women to drive them to the economic independence, and establish maximum penalty against rapists and deprive them of any legal benefit for the convict. Human rights are being deprived of the victims, security, freedom, right to live, education. They are suffering not only physical pain, but also emotional and psychological pain. If anybody is victim or witness of any kind of sexual abuse, speak up. As Martin Luther King said, in the end, what will hurt the most is not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Break the silence, stop the violence, because one is too many. Rape culture is real and huge and everywhere. It is both a root cause of the violence and a devastating form of violence in its own right. The truth is, the end to this problem begins with us. This is a zero tolerance zone.